Hello, everyone. Welcome to a bracket match of pod racing between NachoBrado and Guy for round one of the bracket. I am Ronnie, and co-commentating with me today.
Yeah, hello everyone. Sorry about that. Seems like Ronnie cut out for a little bit, but anyway, we're starting on Metal Star 100. This match, I'm not so sure who's going to win it. These players are about evenly matched, or really solid, both of them. So I don't know who's going to really win this one at the moment. So,
All right, I'm about to give the countdown. I'm not sure if the layout has been changed.
Layout has not been changed yet.
Okay. Well, the countdown has been given, so hopefully that comes in pretty quick.
Oh. I just clicked to switch layout.
Cool. All right. So Master 100 is a pretty interesting track. There's a couple of hard spots, primarily the hairpin at the end of each lap, which is basically a full 180-degree turn with very little margin for error. So you'll be seeing our runners play with very low traction to allow them to more effectively get around that corner. I believe Guy actually doesn't really use the sliding control, which is pretty interesting. And that will actually be a little bit suboptimal here.
Yeah, you're right on the lowest of the low. Lowest frame rate 24 at the lowest traction R20. Interesting.
I'm not hearing audio from the stream. Is that my problem, or?
I'm not hearing it either. We forgot to do the audio check. Oops.
Yep. Yeah, you can see Dwight taking that hairpin not perfectly. And actually, Nacho has already taken a tremendous lead just through cleaner racing, pretty much. 3 seconds is a lot on this track.
Yeah, and you're running. Whoa, that was a big bonk Nacho took, but won't be quite enough for Guy to catch up.
Indeed. Nacho's on a bit better heat as well. You want to be as high heat as possible coming into the hairpin. Generally
and
speaking.
Guy crashes because he doesn't know how to slide.
Yeah. He doesn't really use the slide control, which is one of the more important ones, and it really hurts on certain parts like that.
Running this game for so long, you're on slide at least half the time.
Yeah, for sure. I use it a lot, as most players do. But actually, surprisingly, Dwight gets pretty solid times a lot of the time, even without it. I believe he has the lowest death rate of any of the runners in the tournament. I could be wrong about that, but he's definitely pretty low. And yeah, you can see takes a lot of engine damage there. 146 is a fantastic time. And they've even gone ahead and they've begun their perma bans.
Yeah. We already know what they are.
Yep. Nacho has banned Bunta Classic. Dwight has banned Fire Mountain. Nacho has banned Adobe Mountain Run. And Guy has banned Grabvine Gateway. So those are the tracks that will not be allowed for the rest of the match.
Also, it's pretty smart to ban Grabvine Gateway and Fire Mountain Rally against Nacho because he's fond of banning Bullseye and going to there.
Indeed. It's yeah, both of those tracks are quite difficult. Makes sense to ban them, Bunta Classic and Adobe Mountain Run. So pretty standard bans. So the temporary bans have come in, Bowls Ruhr and Baru Coast. And Dwy Guy has picked Bumpy's Breakers and is forcing no Ben.
And banning bulls, so that means Beto is the fastest here.
Yeah, no bulls, no Ben. So Aldar Beto is pretty much the pick here. I am going to try to get the audio working here. So, sorry about this. I'm just trying to fix the audio as that got skipped. Okay, I'm trying to get the
Going with Bullseye. Okay.
Yeah, that's an interesting pick. And I'm having some trouble with the audio. It seems that the audio samples are extremely quiet on both streams, and I can't get them to be much louder. Let me try again. Maybe I was... Alright, well, I guess I'll give a countdown and try to fix this on that. And I hope Nacho doesn't forget to remove the spectator sheet, as that could result in his disqualification on this track if he fails to remove it before the race begins.
Just pinged him to drop the sheet.
Okay, so I think we've got audio working for this next race. So I think, yeah.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Yeah, so there seems to be a problem that Nacho has not taken down the sheet.
Yeah, I'm in with him in chat. Uh-oh.
I'm not sure what the ruling is if he if he starts the race without with the sheet up, is that automatically a DNF?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
There he goes. Okay, I don't know. We gave the countdown, but it looks like I'm gonna ask Dwy if he could restart. Since
I'm not sure if he'll see it is the problem.
I'm pinging him. Oh
Yeah.
no. Okay.
This is definitely
go.
not the ideal situation.
No, not at all. Looks like though we got the first 30 seconds with a track of this long probably will be sufficient.
Well, assuming the runs are real, Dwy makes it through the shortcut very, very nicely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this
I
is
think
the
they're
area
both
where,
real.
yeah, I think this is the area where Bullseye is going to be really helpful. I'm not even sure I should bother syncing them because they're just so far apart.
Yeah, it would just take much longer than it's worth.
Yeah.
like a 40-second sync pause. That just doesn't. That would not be fun for our viewers. 140.
No. Hopefully we get these difficulties ironed out.
And it looks like we got audio.
Yes. We're using Nacho's audio.
So
I was able to get that sorted, thankfully.
So Dry Guy did 140. And
Solid lap with Bullseye.
let's see what Nacho gets with Beto.
He should get probably around the same, it looks like.
Looks like Nacho is slightly behind Dry Guy here.
Yeah. A little bit behind could possibly be due to a little bit sloppier driving or not using his boost as much as he should, underheating too much.
Well, Dry Guy also is fond of using Bullseye, so he's really good with him. I don't think Nacho is used to Beto outside of amateur no upgrade. Into the warning. Ooh,
Yeah.
massive engine damage.
This track is long enough. I'm gonna go ahead and sync them anyway. This is gonna be a really long sync pause on Dwy Guy, but it's quite a long track, so I think it should be fine. And I've got reassurance from Ace, who DM'd me saying that as well. So
Yeah. Just watching Nacho catch up.
And his shortcut.
Oh, he does it!
Shreds an engine off on that shortcut. Very easy to do. That's a difficult section to be sure. And it makes
that
it through
crash puts him massively behind.
Yeah, now we
like-
can really see just how far behind he is.
It's like 5 or 10 seconds.
Consistent. Yeah, dying with Aldar Beto is extremely bad because of his terrible acceleration. He has some of the worst acceleration in the whole game. So getting back up to speed after dying takes a lot of time. So every death is very costly.
Actually, the worst acceleration in the game with Rat's Terrell.
Yeah. It's not good.
And even fully upgraded, Neva Key and Arc Bumpy Reese still beat him in acceleration without upgrades.
Yeah, that's a statistic. That's not something you want to hear. You don't want to hear Arc Bumpy Roos is a better acceleration than you with no upgrades. Although, to be fair, Arc Bumpy Roos does accelerate very, very quickly.
Almost too quickly.
Incidentally, he was one of my favorite pods to use in multiplayer for that reason, because you just jump out in front of everybody, like, really fast at the beginning of every race. Oh! And Dwight takes the death on that shortcut. That's actually
They're
gonna
about
bring
even
it
now!
back. Yeah, that's gonna allow Nacho to bring it back. And given Beto's boosting capabilities are quite a bit faster...
Yep, he just pulled ahead at the last second.
Nacho is going to take the lead here. And it's going to be very close. This will be a photo finish. And we've got Beto taking it by about 2 seconds.
Okay, Bulls ban.
All right. Same bands, Bulls Ruhr and Baru Coast. Ooh, Executioner has been picked.
So see a Ben Mir.
Yes, almost certainly. Executioner is, in my opinion, one of the more underrated tracks in this game. People don't seem to like it very much, and I think that's a bit sad, because I think it's a fine track. It can be frustrating, but, I mean, basically every track in this game can be.
Yeah, this track is like... It's... The hardest part of it, where I like to say the track earns its name, is in this. tube drop, and the fastest way involves tilting or going up a wall, and tilting is one of the worst possible things you can do in the Uvu 4 tubes.
Yes, indeed. It can really mess you up. It can really throw you off, especially depending on frame rate. On low frame rates, it can just fling you all over the place and make it impossible to control. Yeah, they're tough tracks for sure.
Yeah. The safest strategy is to slam hard on the brakes when you're going at the tube drop, but that doesn't really do well if you're speed running it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. If you're trying to go for the fastest time, you've got to do some risky stuff, and that can be really, really tough. Just waiting for the ready ups. Just a little bit of warm up here. You can see that the beginning parts of this track are pretty easy usually. You shouldn't have much trouble on this track in the first 30 seconds or so usually. But after that, it can get pretty tough.
Yeah.
And as with any speedrun, you shouldn't have much trouble means you're sometimes going to just mess it up anyway. That's why we love speedrunning, right? And yeah, you can see an example of the Uvo tube being very scary there as Nacho dies, but it's a warm-up, so it doesn't really matter. And now, here comes the race.
Though that exit from that tube is usually pretty deadly regardless of frame rate.
Yeah, it can be very brutal. It like just smashes you into the ground. Nasty. And Nacho seems to be taking a pretty solid line here. He seems to have a little bit of a lead coming out of this section with the red carpeting. But Dwight is really right next to him. It's not a big lead. It is a bit faster. It's not faster to die, but it is a bit faster to jump off the wall into the tube. The way Nacho did it.
I'm amazed Dry Guy survived that. The way he was angled, it looked like he was just going to crash on exit.
Yeah. And with that as well, Dwight's going to take a big lead in terms of heat as well. He's not going to have to...
They're about even in heat, though.
Yeah, there's that long straight, so they managed to stay around the same. But yeah, Dwight has a big lead now.
Doesn't look that big to me. Only about maybe a second or two.
Yeah, it's because Nacho boosted through the basically the whole tube. He's about
about 2 seconds. And 119 is really solid for Executioner Full.
Yeah, that's very, very good.
A really solid time on Executioner Full starts around the 4-minute mark.
Yeah, sub 4 is quite a fun accomplishment on this track and tournament. And yeah, we're gonna see Nacho jump off the wall again to get back in.
Oh, crashes in the entries!
It is a bit risky to do that. Yikes.
And Dry Guy survived again, which I have no idea why.
I think it's mainly...
No, he crashes on the rotating gate! That's worse than the tube! Oh, they both crashed there! It's even again!
There. So Dwight is still gonna hold out a little bit of a lead because they both crashed on the door.
I don't usually see racers crash on the same spot like that.
Yeah, it's not very common, and it's not very common for Dwight guy to die at all. But I guess that can get anybody. He's still got a very solid time, 123 seconds.
123 with a death. 124.
with 2 deaths. So Nacho seems to be maybe on the verge of clawing it back. If he can avoid dying on this 3rd lap, he might have a chance to take the win. If he just races a bit cleaner and manages heat better and such.
Okay.
He makes it into the tube just fine.
No! Twilight crashes in the tube now!
And that's going to give Nacho just about the lead, I should think. Yes, indeed.
Easily the lead. Running out of space is the crash.
Yeah. It's not a very big lead, so if Nacho messes up on the very end here and dies, he can lose it, but I really don't expect him to. And Nacho
402 despite several deaths.
Yeah, that's fast. Ooh, not the .666. That's a bit scary.
You know what? I was reading about a superstition that's if you're in it's actually a bigger superstition. Okay, Mars Groban, Punta Barucos, and Endoprime Centrum is going to be the next one.
Yeah. Endoprime Centrum is a really fun track. In my opinion, it's one of my favorites, and yeah, it's got a couple of hairy sections where you can mess up, but it's also got some cool tricks, and it's not terribly long either.
Though there's so many paths that if you don't know the right path, it's an automatic loss.
Yeah. Yeah, the optimal path is not super obvious. So it really does come down a lot to familiarity with the track. So you can see at this section here in the atrium, it just sort of splits into 4 different paths, and knowing which one to take and where to go from there is basically the first thing you have to learn on this track. I believe that both of our runners here should be familiar with the quickest path. Nacho in the warm-up going for some pretty aggressive boost lines and dying a lot. Which can happen. There's some very aggressive lines on this track that are very risky as well. And we get ready for the race. Off they go.
Right.
So the first sort of section that you kind of have to think about is this section here where you break that ice. It's possible to die on it, so you have to hit it sort of on the side. But the real beginning of the track is this hairpin section here. And Dwight-Guy not sliding is really going to hurt him.
Yeah. And that's also one of the few parts of the game where you have to use the brakes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and actually Dwight-Guy taking a bit of a longer path there. Yeah, Dwight taking not the optimal path through the city. That's going to lose him time on top of having to slow down very significantly on the hairpins so that he doesn't crash on them. 54 from Nacho, very solid. And a 56 is not bad. Nacho maxing out his heat. Very good. You want to have as much heat as you can by this hairpin here, because you cool down quite a bit through it. And very clean from Nacho. Dwight Guy makes it through as well, a bit faster than last time. And as you can see with Nacho, he flies through a bit of a, like an arch there. There's just no collision there for some reason, so you can just fly through it. I'm not sure about Dwight taking this path through the city.
Ooh, caught fire!
Ooh, yeah, and it's not a lucky repair either. It's possible to get a repair where you just instantly put it out, but Nacho's had a bit of trouble there. Might not slow him down enough for Dwight to claw back into it, but it is going to slow him a little bit. Hairpin part 3. Nacho makes it through, but maybe not as fast as he wanted. Dwight makes it through as well. And it looks like this is Nacho going to take it. There's not really any major death spots from this point on. So Nacho should take the win here. And he does with a 2:38, which is a very, very solid time on this track. 2:43 is not bad at all, but yeah, fast. Nacho actually quite dominant in this match. Maybe a little bit unexpected. I think I expected Dwight Guy to maybe do a bit more and winning a few more tracks, but who knows? We'll see same temp bands, Bowsru and Baru Coast.
And Defro's Revenge with Ben Band and no upgrades.
Ooh. Interesting choice taking Nacho to no upgrades.
The fastest pod here will be Sebulba.
Yep, with no Ben and no bowls, Sebulba is the fastest pod here with no upgrades. I wonder if he practiced Sebulba Defro's Revenge for this match point sort of scenario, but who knows? We'll find out when we get to watching them.
Okay, we also need to tell them they need to check their stats that are no upgrade.
Yep. Yeah, they need to not only if they have a separate profile for no upgrades, they have to show off all the parts. If not, well, they're gonna have to downgrade all the parts anyway, and we'll see that. So, but yeah, they do have to show that they have no upgrades at all. So Dwight switching to a different profile. Whereas Nacho is just going to buy the worst parts.
You want that one, huh? You banna piroga mindia, huh?
And Dwight looks good.
Putenanolia! Achubananaya!
And Nacho looks good.
Yeah.
Is Nacho
Beto?
picking Aldar Beto here? Interesting.
Oy! Nacho's probably going to be at a big disadvantage with this.
Yeah, Beto, because of his poor acceleration and doesn't, I believe, with no upgrades, Sebulba's boost is actually a little bit faster.
No, his booster, his raw top speed without upgrades Beto is 517. Sebulba is 600. But Beto peaks at theoretical boost max is 867, while Sebulba is 785. But because of the fact that you boost so little and no upgrades, it means the cruising speed of Sebulba is going to probably pull him ahead if everything comes out well.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
And
Off they go.
now it can't really be... So, crashes right away with Beto. That is
And
the worst!
That's gonna hurt so much with no upgrades at all. Look at that. Just to get back to boosting took like basically 4 or 5 seconds. That could do it right there on this, honestly.
Yeah, and no upgrade Beto is the worst of the worst with acceleration.
Yeah, that's as bad as it gets in the entire game.
That's like possibly one of the worst possible deaths you could ever take. Right at the beginning with no upgrade Beto, which meant he was a combination of underheat plus the worst acceleration in the game.
Yeah, Sebulba is gonna jump the lead here. That's gonna be very, very significant. A 102 first lap, quite solid, I think, for no upgrades. Yeah, but you can see that death was about 6 seconds, which is really brutal.
And once Beto's tapped out a boost, Sebulba's just going to pull ahead.
Yep. Yeah, this is Dwy Guy's match to lose, or race to lose at this point.
As you can see,
yeah, if he can just consistently keep going through it. Yeah, you can see their cruising speeds there, like Dwy is like 80 units faster than Nacho. And that is very significant. I think Dwy could honestly afford a death or two at this point. Yeah, 58 second lap. Versus a 59, so yeah, another full second gain for Dwy Guy. Coming to about a 7-second lead in total.
Now it's totally 80.
Yeah.
It's totally 80 units now. And there you see, not just tapping out his boost, which means that he cannot use it.
Yeah, exactly. Beto doesn't have the greatest cooling either, and Dwy is gonna
3
easily
minutes.
take it. 3 minutes flat.
306 for Nacho. Now,
basically all of that was the death. And Dwy will not be shut out. But now it's Nacho's turn to pick a track. Nacho has banned
he's banning Bulls, banning this, Spice Mine Run.
Yep, it's Spice Mine Run, no forces, no Bulls. We'll get a bend mirror. And yeah, I think this is probably going to be Nacho's win here.
Yeah, but now Dry's totally at the mercy of Nacho now.
Spice Mine Run is an interesting track. It's not terribly difficult. It's pretty easy to get your deathless 3-lap. However, it is really, really difficult to optimize. The ideal fastest boosting pattern and exact course are not the most obvious and quite difficult to execute. You can basically lose a couple of seconds just by being a little bit sloppy overall, which you can do basically anywhere on any track, but here it's especially noticeable.
And it's especially easy to be sloppy with the booster.
Yeah, it's really easy to just overuse it on this track, especially on like the conveyor belt. Yeah, there are some tricks with this track. So being very practiced with it is going to put you ahead, and I think that's Nacho's PB there, 341. It's quite good. Just looking at them warming up real quick on these tracks. Yeah, you can see Nacho's taking a very good line there. So this seems like something he's practiced.
No, this is one of his favorite tracks to counterpick too. He's very fond of forcing no upgrades on here too.
Yeah. And Nacho taking the lead. They actually seem to be pretty even.
Whoa, he dies!
No! That's not good. That's really not good. It's not the worst place to die, but it's still a bad spot. And that's going to give Dwy a pretty solid lead. It
Uh-oh! He held
Dwy
the
takes
boost
the
too
death.
greedily! He was too greedy with the boost there!
Oh,
Up the nuts are
Nacho!
crashing right again! This is nuts!
What is happening? This is like the most deadly Spice Mine run I've ever seen. 3 deaths between the 2 runners in the first lap? That's pretty interesting. It doesn't happen very much.
With more deaths coming from the favorite to win!
Yeah. So both of them not exactly doing good on heat or timings.
Well, that means they don't have to worry about the precarious dozer spot on the final lap.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is pretty much a dead heat. I think Dwy was maybe 0.2 faster, I think, on that first lap.
It looks like he braked.
Yeah, and Nacho having a little bit better heat coming into the conveyor belt. You don't want to be boosting across this because you want to maximize how much time you spend on fast terrain. And there's a little bit of watching out for the cart here.
Oh, he crashed into the minecart!
Dwy hits it. Yeah, that's one of the tricky parts of this track is making sure you know where that cart's going to be on each lap. Especially if you die, and it messes up the timing.
I usually on this track, to be safe, try to go for the outer portion on the right to avoid the minecart crashing.
Yeah, but that also is a little bit slower because it's the best way would be to take the inside of every corner if you can. So it's a trade-off between safety and speed. But yeah, now you can see Nacho has a very significant lead just based on that and the cleaner driving overall. Yeah, the dozer is nowhere near the dangerous spot. Yeah, and this should be unless Nacho messes up really badly, this should be his track. Coming into the final stretch of the, or not the final stretch, but now we're going to be coming up with the final stretch. This is the final hairpin area once you get out of this tube. Here. And looking very clean for Nacho. And he might...
He gets it.
351 with 2 deaths is very good. And Dwy is going to come in with maybe a 401 or 402?
401.
And that's Nacho's win. GG's to the runners who will be joining us momentarily for interview. And welcome the runners.
Hello.
Hello.
Howdy, howdy. Well played.
Yeah, there were some very interesting parts to those races. A lot more deaths than I expected.
Me
Same.
too.
Spice Mine Run especially.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like, I just crashed, and then suddenly I just wasn't in the game and felt I crashed 2 more times. It was not
Yeah.
enjoyable.
Yeah, I think I crashed 2 or 3 times there too. I was,
Yeah, you both crashed a few times.
Yeah, I got a 113 second lap. So like, I was playing very aggressive because all my crashes I think were lap 1.
Yeah.
So I was just panicking like, okay, I just gotta go. And
And also, why did you go with Beto with Death Throws when you could have gone with Saboba?
I don't know. Is Boba faster? It's
Way
I mean,
faster!
Yeah, it's quite a bit faster, especially when you died and lost 6 seconds.
Yeah, I died once right at the beginning. I feel like it would have been pretty even if I didn't die.
No, Saboba's actually a bit faster than Beto.
Yeah, his cruising
Without
speed
upgrades.
was about 80 units faster than Beto's.
Were we like 6 seconds apart anyway?
yeah.
Yeah,
I think it would have been pretty close if you didn't crash.
it would have been
Yeah.
kind of close, but I think that would have been still Dwight's race.
Yeah, I'm
Because,
just
well,
so
it'd
used.
have-
I'm so used to Beto, no upgrades. I didn't even think about Saboba. I'm like, I think he's 4th. I'm gonna go with Beto. Nope.
Yeah.
Muscle memory. This was muscle memory again because it reminded me of the match last year's tourney when you went with Beto and you should have gone with Bowles.
That's because I didn't know the meta.
Yeah,
Well, I guess it's
But
time
yeah.
to a certain extent now, but
but
Yeah.
yeah.
lessons learned.
Yeah, well, congrats to Nacho on the win.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats,
Uh,
Nacho.
So your next opponent will be the winner of Metallica versus the Cylinder. So that'll be an interesting match as well. Maybe a little less
Absolutely.
interesting than this one, but probably still have some good moments.
I
Absolutely.
think that's the next match scheduled too.
Yep, indeed, that match is scheduled for tomorrow, I think, or tonight.
We have 2
think it's-
tomorrow. We actually have
Yeah.
Kingpin Div versus That's No Good at 1 tomorrow. So they
1
jumped the
o'clock
line.
Eastern.
And then we have
And,
Metallica versus Cylinder at 6.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. Those will be matches. Hopefully they'll give us some interesting stuff. Usually the first round of the bracket is has more one-sided matches than the later rounds. Because, for example, the number 1 seeded player will take on the lowest seeded player, so it can be pretty bad. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, good racing. You guys put on a good show, I think, and can't wait to see how you guys do. Maybe Dwight will pull off an awesome loser bracket run back.
I'll sure try. I'm very disappointed with my performance today.
Yeah, I mean, loser bracket run backs are pretty cool. They feel fun to do.
Oh, absolutely. Make you feel good at the end of it.
I mean, I guess going through the whole thing completely undefeated would be the best, but you can't have it all.
That's what Ace did last year, and I know he's aiming for that again this year.
I was gonna say that's usually Ace's spot to take.
Yeah, but there's some pretty tough runners up in this tournament as well that can pose some significant threat, I think. Who knows? Maybe they'll even be strong enough to knock them off.
Yeah. Semis and finals and winners is definitely going to be interesting later on.
For sure.
So we're going to actually come tomorrow have the next round be able to be set up because we'll have loser of Metallica and the Cylinder going up against Dry Guy.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So yeah, both of you will be watching that match, seeing who you'll play. Or maybe you won't be watching it live. I don't know. You know, maybe you're busy or something.
I'm definitely going to want to try to catch that one for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks, guys, for coming.
And yeah, no problem. With that, I think we should probably sign off now.
Yeah, I think this is a wrap. Good luck, everyone. May the force be with you.
Yep. Thank you, everyone.
See ya. Jeez.